What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over how to properly use a foam roller for rolling out your lower extremities and then your mid and upper back. Okay, so we're going to start off. You want to take your roller, and it doesn't matter if it's a 3 foot or a 1 foot, but it does matter that it's completely round. Okay, half rollers don't get the same effect, so you want to make sure it's a completely round roller. Okay, so you're going to lie it down. So let's start off with some of our larger muscle groups. We're going to start off rolling out our glutes first. So what you want to do is sit on the roller. So you want to sit perpendicular to the roller. Let's focus on one hip as opposed to trying to get both at the same time. Really just put all our eggs in that basket and make sure we're getting good mobility out of that muscle group. So if your left leg is extended, your right leg will be bent. Left hand is on the floor behind the roller for stability. Okay, right foot and left arm are really helping to stabilize, but also shift your weight back and forth. So we're going to start kind of mid-muscle belly, and you can shift your weight forward to roll that roller to the top of your glute, okay, right up towards the top of your pelvis in the back. You should feel it mostly on that left side. You don't want to be right on your tailbone, and then you're going to shift your weight back down, okay, to get the roller to work its way just under your hip. Okay, not going completely down your hamstring, just from the top of your glute to the bottom of your glute, closer to where it inserts to the back of your upper leg. Right, so then we just want to shift back and forth for a good 30-40 seconds. Okay, not going too fast. Okay, fast makes us clench. Clenching is guarding, and we're not getting the same benefits of the roller really digging into the soft tissue. So let's roll from the top of your glute to the bottom. Okay, nice and slow. Try not to clench that glute. You don't want to tighten that muscle belly up. You want to make sure it's just staying relaxed. Okay, the foam roller, right, doesn't magically break up knots and extend tissue, but it does move soft tissue around to allow circulation to flow through a lot easier, and that can flush areas out. It can distract nerve endings to get them to stop kind of clenching and contracting just by rolling across them gently, and that can give you some relief over time in that area. Okay, now that we've gone for a good 30 seconds, just kind of on that major full muscle belly, let's take that left ankle and we'll cross it up on top of the right knee. Okay, this is just shifting our weight towards that outside corner. So if you feel like you're on that hip bone, okay, you want to go above that hip bone off to the left side, and you'll find a softer area. And that's just kind of exposing your piriformis a little bit. Getting into this rotated position can shorten some of that muscle belly and allow it to get dug into by the roller. This is a much smaller range of motion. You don't need to roll through such a big area. We're just focusing right on that soft area above that lateral hip bone, okay, but beside your tailbone. Don't shift and be straight on, rolling on your tailbone. Be off to that side. Nice. So now we can extend that leg. We're going to work down your IT band now. Okay, so one of your glutes and one of your hip flexors, your TFL, comes together and forms your IT band. So you're going to lie that left leg out straight again. You want to put your left elbow down on the floor. Okay, a little better body position, not as jamming up in your shoulder and your wrist. And now we want to take that right foot and bring it in front. So now we're lying completely on our side. Okay, our left elbow and our right foot are still our stabilizing limbs, and they are also our movers. So I'm going to push with my right leg to roll me forward, getting that roller to scoot all the way down to my knee, and then guiding myself back up with my arms and my foot back to my hip. And I don't need to go too high up onto that hip bone again. Again, I want to just stop at high thigh on the side of that leg. More about where your pants pockets would be, and then just work from your pants pockets all the way down to just above your knee joint. Okay, again, moving slowly. We don't want to clench. This is a thick band of tissue as it is. Any clenching for your quad or your hamstring is just going to make it more uncomfortable and minimize any benefit we might be getting from the roller. And if it's uncomfortable, you don't want to go through that discomfort for no reason. You want to get the benefits out of it. So try to relax that leg. If there's any specific hot spot where it's really sensitive, just stay on that hot spot and then flex that knee to tuck your foot behind you and then re-extend the knee, keeping your body weight right on that sensitive spot. This just gets that tissue to get stretched out a little more in that specific area. Instead of rolling back and forth across it with the roller, you're forcing it to stay on the roller and then move it on the roller by bending and straightening that knee. Nice. So now we're just going to turn over completely so that we'll be facing down. You're going to put the front of that left thigh on the roller, and you want to put it right at that pants pocket height, just like you did with the other one. Okay, your right knee and leg can be out to the side. Again, stabilizing, balancing, and also helping us to glide easily so that we don't over clench that quad while we're trying to roll it out. So you want to get your roller lined up. It's easier to be at the end of it, so it's only focusing on the one leg. Okay, that right leg can be out to the side. Okay, don't put it underneath you. Now you've rounded your back and lifted your weight off of the roller. Push it out to the side so that your body weight can really sink down onto the roller. And then from your pants pocket, you're going to scoot your weight forward using your forearms and that leg to guide you all the way to just above your knee joint. Don't go on your kneecap. And then bring yourself back up to that pants pocket again. Okay, back is nice and flat. My elbows and forearms are stabilizing me. My right leg is helping to guide me and balance me. Just like on the IT band, if there's any particular hot spot, find that sensitive area and then bend that knee and straighten it again while your body weight has sunken onto that really sensitive spot. This will help to lengthen that tissue out a little bit better because you're really targeting your problem spot. Instead of just rolling across the entire length of that tissue, you're helping to target that really problem area to get that to release and loosen up. And straighten wherever that hot spot is. Excellent. So now one last position, we want to go on the inside of our thigh, okay? We've done back of your rear end, IT band, front of your thigh. We also want to get on the inside of that thigh. So this one, you're going to lie beside the roller. We're still working on this left leg. You're going to drape your left leg across your roller. This one's almost easier to start closer to your knee. And then just shift your weight sideways, letting your body weight sink onto that roller, getting up into your groin. And you want to get it all the way up into that hip joint as far as you can. You'd be surprised where your tension is with this one. And making sure that your leg is really beside you. If your leg is extended down and almost parallel to the one you're not rolling, you probably won't lengthen the tissue enough to get a good result from rolling on it. So make sure it's really almost perpendicular to you. You can get that thigh perpendicular to you with a knee bend and you'll still get good benefit from it. Okay, if you have tension there, you'll know it pretty quickly. Nice. Now we want to recreate all that on our right side. We're going to start out with our right glute. Okay, so sitting on that right side, right hand is stabilizing, left foot is now helping to stabilize. We roll from the top of our glute to the bottom of it. Not rushing, not clenching. Just letting our body weight really sink into it. A little bit longer. Right? You don't need to roll out the muscle group for 5-10 minutes, but you do need to do it for at least 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, that'll probably be long enough if it's really restricted. So now we're going to cross that ankle up on top of the opposite knee, expose kind of that outward edge of your hip, dig into that piriformis a little bit. Okay, make sure you're above that hip bone of the leg and beside your tailbone on that right side. Don't be on your tailbone. And don't be low enough that you feel like you're rolling over your hip bone. Be above all that. Okay, moving slow and controlled. It's a small motion. It's not a big shift like the full glute was. Just working right in that sensitive area above the hip bone, beside the tailbone. Nice. Let's re-extend that right leg. Good. So now we're going to go down that IT band again. So we're going to start below that hip bone. Right hand is going to come down so that you're on your right elbow. Left leg is going to come in front so that you can guide yourself along the side of that thigh. And then back up. All the way down to that knee, okay, just above the knee joint. And then back up, staying on the side of your thigh. Don't roll all the way over yet. We'll get to that one. If you have a sensitive spot, and mine's a little bit closer to my knee on this side, it was higher towards my hip on the other side. You're just going to bend and straighten that knee while you're leaning on that sensitive area. That's it. Getting all that tissue to loosen up. Remind it that it's supposed to be able to move. Okay, now that we've done that isolated spot, maybe we open it back up again. Flush all that out. There you go. Now we'll turn over, facing down. That left knee is going to be beside us. We're on both forearms now, so that we can let our body weight really sink down onto that right thigh. Okay, and guide ourselves from our pants pocket all the way down to just above the knee joint, and then back up. Okay, all the way to the knee, and then back up. Again, don't go on top of the kneecap. Stop above the kneecap. But make sure you're moving the full length of your thigh at first. Find out where those really sensitive areas are. Is it closer to the knee? Is it closer to your hip? Okay, find where that spot is. Once you've found it, you roll the full length, then we can get a few kicks on that one side. Nice, and then flush all that out with a full roll again. Very good. Now we'll come up from there. I'm going to get the inside of that thigh, okay, just like the left. We're going to get all sides of that leg. So the roller will be beside us. We drape that right leg across, getting that thigh perpendicular to our body. Okay, starting closer to our knee, we're going to scoot sideways with our body to get it to roll up in towards our groin, as close to our hip as we can tolerate. Letting your body weight really sink onto it. If you have that sensitive spot, maybe you want to kick and straighten on here. Maybe you don't. Maybe just moving nice and slow. Getting that muscle to realize it doesn't have to clench and guard all the time. Notice there's differences from your right leg to your left leg. You carry tension in different spots depending on what your daily habits are. One might have a really tight glute, the other one has a really tight groin. Excellent. So let's come off of there. So now we've worked kind of everything from our hips down. We're not going to focus on calves today. Calves are better done actually with a lacrosse or a tennis ball. Okay, it's a little less complicated than trying to do it with your foam roller. You can roll your calves, okay, but I've found over time that it's a lot easier to do it with a ball or a couple of balls in a sock than it is in a foam roller. So let's utilize this foam roller. We're going to open up kind of our mid and upper back a little bit now. So you want it perpendicular to you again. From here, you're going to lean back onto it, brace yourself with your elbows, okay? Kind of lean onto it right down at your last rib, right? Your ribs don't go all the way to your hips. They end before that, so start at your last rib, Okay, you can just get your hands to gently support the weight of your head. So you don't have to worry about your neck getting too tired. And then using your heels, you can pull through your heels to roll yourself down that foam roller. Let it roll all the way up between your shoulder blades, and then push with your heels to get it to roll back down all the way to your last ribs. Okay, we'll get a few rolls there. Whether or not your rear end is on the floor is up to you. Okay, if you feel a lot of discomfort, I would leave your rear end on the floor. If you're fairly comfortable, you can lift your hips up and then really just use your legs to roll yourself down to your last rib and then back up. Cracking and popping is common. You should not get numbness with that though. Okay, you might notice that one rib cage feels a little tighter, right? You feel a little bulbous on one side compared to the other. Let's focus on that a little bit. So if it's our right side, let's put our rear end down, find that really sensitive spot, and then keep your rear end on the floor. Just angle your knees over to that side, and you'll see that just angling your knees shifted your weight to that right rib cage. And now we can just focus on that right rib cage a little bit more. There you go. Hips can be down, right? We don't need all of our body weight. We just need enough to create a response. So now we can shift our knees back to center. And let's shift our knees off to the other side. Just make sure that we even these things out. Okay, you'll feel where you need it. And not rolling too fast. We want to be able to create adaptation. So we need our nervous system to be able to calm down and realize that we're not trying to damage it. So it doesn't need to clench. Good. Knees back to square. Good. And now while we're fully supported, okay, let's just take our arm and we'll reach up with one arm. Okay, open up that chest a little bit. Maybe we roll to the side of that rib. Remind that lat that it's supposed to get nice and long also. Still supporting your head with your other hand. Okay, don't freak your neck out. Nice. Let's switch. We'll go left hand behind your head. Right arm is going to reach up while your hips are square. And then weight shift over to that right side again. Okay, kind of getting just below that shoulder blade. You'll feel that soft spot open up. Below the shoulder blade as you're moving over, you might feel like you're going towards your armpit a little bit. Feel that it's pushing your shoulder blade up and out of the way. It's lengthening all those stabilizing muscles out, reminding them they have a job to do and that they should be mobile enough to do it. Still stabilizing your head, come back to square. Big stretch, big reach. Woo. Nice. It's amazing how much better you feel after you just take a few minutes, okay, roll out some of your major muscle groups. You'd be shocked at how much tension you may not have even noticed you had. If you do have significant knee pain or discomfort in under your kneecap or around your knee, okay, doing the glute hamstring, glute IT band and quad, one of these is going to be a great benefit for you. Really take your time. They are going to be uncomfortable. If you have knee pain especially, it's more than likely because there is a ton of tightness in those muscle groups, so it's not going to feel good to roll them. But suck it up for a week or two, okay, doing it consistently, and you'll notice that, wow, my knee doesn't hurt as often. Wow, my knee doesn't hurt as much. Wow, my knee doesn't hurt. Okay, it's amazing what can happen when you just take the time, right? You use just a little patience, okay, and a little perseverance, and go through these stretches and mobility activities, and you'll be super amazed at how much better you feel. So until next time, we here at Connecticut Fitness Lab thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the internet. Bye.